So as you can see from the title of this video, I have been living in Medellín, Colombia for a little over a month now, and I would say I have a good grasp of what it's like to live here, how it's different to London, what are the challenges that I face, what's better, what's worse. And so in today's video, instead of running through a body part or a mistake I've learned from the past or a little tip or trick to help you get in phenomenal shape, let's just run through a few lessons that I've learned from living here in the last month, and it's going to include some fitnessy things as well. So I hope you enjoy it. So I think the main thing is life here is organized chaos. It's much less structured to life in Europe, life in London. And off the face of it, it feels like there's no rules or regulations here. When you're walking along the street, you have traffic whizzing past you, people driving alongside of the road. It's a little bit crazy, but once you lived here for a certain amount of time, in my case a few weeks, you begin to realize that there is in fact a system. People do know the rules and people do have their own way of doing things, but it's complete chaos in comparison to other parts of the world. The water system here is one of the cleanest in the world. You don't need to drink bottled water, you can drink tap water straight from the tap. You don't even need a Brita filter, which is what I used to use in London. But the caveat of that is twice a year, once every 6 months, they basically close the water system for 24 hours. They stagger it across the city. Some parts it goes from 1 p.m. till 2 p.m. 25 hours. Another part of the city will be from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m. still over a 25-hour period. And so that happened yesterday and the day before. So I basically gave myself a shower with 8 liters of water in a bucket with a sponge and a jug. I stocked up on water beforehand. I couldn't do any washing up, and for people here that is normal. People in my Spanish school asked me if we have that same system in London where they close the water every now and again to clean the system, and I said of course not. In Europe we have running water 365 days of the year, but it's not as clean as a system here. So that's quite interesting. And I would say overall the food quality is a lot better here, but you have to be more careful because it's probably not cleaned as thoroughly as it is in Europe. So if you think about it, your meats, your poultries, your eggs, your fruits, your vegetables, all of this kind of basic stuff, the quality here in Colombia is a lot better compared to the UK. And I feel like you can actually tell this when you eat it. For example, the tomatoes here have a lot more texture, they have a lot more flavor, they're a lot richer. The tomatoes in the UK tend to be a bit watery and tasteless. Most of the eggs here still have kind of feathers and little bits of dirt on the egg, which is how you can tell it's really fresh. And I've said on another video before, I feel like my skin, my hair, my nails, they're all kind of a little bit better maybe from living here, and maybe that's part of the food quality. But it does mean that you have to be extra diligent with washing your food here. You can't really take any chances with eating things that are not clean. You have to wash all the fruit and vegetables a lot more thoroughly. And because of that, parasites are a lot more of a thing here compared to Europe. And so everyone here takes a parasite medication once every 6 months, which basically cleans the system, basically sit on the toilet for 24 hours. Everyone does that here, and I was only told about this a few days ago. So I myself, I'm going to start this week. I'm going to pick a day where I don't have a lot on, take the anti-parasite medication and just flush my system through. Because if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that my dog was recently sick and she has a parasite as well. So I thought if my dog's picked up a parasite from just being in Colombia, walking around, maybe different bacteria in the fruit, the vegetables, maybe even the water, even though it's cleaner, I figured I may have one as well. Just to be on the safe side, I bought this anti-parasite medication, which apparently everyone takes. And so yeah, basically pick a day where you don't have a lot on so you can go to the toilet a lot, it flushes your system through, and if you do have a parasite, it gets rid of it. I haven't had any symptoms of one, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And this isn't turning into a supplement video, but another thing everyone takes here is digestive enzymes and probiotics because of the bacteria, because of the parasite thing, because the food maybe not as clean as in other parts of the world, even though the quality is a little bit better. I thought I may as well take a probiotic and prebiotic. I literally just bought this at the pharmacy. It's not expensive and I'd rather just cover my bases. And last thing I'm doing differently here, which I never used to do in the UK, is take aloe vera every day. I'm just doing a couple of tablespoons when I take my supplements in the morning. And again, it's like the parasite thing and the digestive thing. I'd rather be safe than sorry. This bottle didn't really cost me very much. I can integrate it as part of my routine. And again, yeah, in London and Europe, I would never consider taking aloe vera once a day. I don't think it's a normal thing for people to do. I've certainly never heard anyone talking about it. But here, just regular people have told me, oh, have you started taking aloe vera? You should take that if you have a bad tummy and everything. So I am. So those are the 3 new supplements that I've started taking. I'm also having to adjust my training a little bit, mainly because The gym's a little bit busy here. Fitness is a lot more widespread and part of the culture, as I've told you before. And that's overall a great thing because it means the gyms are really good quality, the gyms are good, they're well equipped, there are outdoor gyms as well. It does mean though that the gyms just tend to be quite busy, meaning you don't get a free rein on equipment as much as you would like, meaning that you have to be a little bit clever with your exercise selection or how many sets you do of things. For example, some sessions, if it's in the evening and I can't really get onto much equipment, I've just done 4 exercises, 4 sets on each one, which is not what I'd normally do, but you have to adapt when presented with a certain situation. So the gyms here are a little bit on the busy side, so I've had to adapt with that. And I've been told that Colombian architects are some of the best architects in the world. Why? Because it's so hilly here and they have to get used to constructing and designing buildings for steep gradients. It means that basically every day is a leg workout. At the moment, I'm living uphill, and so every time I walk downhill or uphill, it's basically like doing 5 or 10 minutes in the Stairmaster every single day, which is doing wonders for my leg development. Of course, it's not visible to the naked eye, but I feel like multiple times a day, my legs are burning a lot outside the gym, and it just feels really good, honestly. So I'm going to check back in a few years time of living here, and we're going to see if my leg development is any better than not. And because they speak Spanish here, and because most people do not speak English in the part of Medellín that I'm staying, it makes me realize that to some extent, living in your own country where you're the native speaker and everyone else is speaking that same language is life on easy mode. It just makes day-to-day things a lot easier. Buying things, returning things, asking questions, arranging things, visiting websites, knowing which product to buy, taking your vet to the pet, for example. I had to do that a lot recently, and it makes the whole process twice as difficult because I can't understand 25% of what the vet's saying. Sometimes that 25% I don't understand is not that important, and it's okay that I don't understand it. Other times that 25% is the bit I need to know. It can make day-to-day things a lot more difficult, but then that's also part of the challenge and the experience and the feeling of adventure that I'm getting here. And every week, if you put the work in, you can see yourself progress. So if I look back at my Spanish when I very first landed in Medellín just over a month ago, my Spanish has come on leaps and bounds. A little bit like transforming your physique. And funnily enough, everything here is done on WhatsApp. Unlike in the US, where a lot of people don't even know what WhatsApp is, which is crazy seeing that it's an American brand, everything is done here on WhatsApp. Buying things on their equivalent of Amazon, arranging to see a vet, buying bus tickets. Everything is done on WhatsApp, which just makes life really easy because everything is on one place. You can just go from chat to chat to chat and tick things off your list that you need to do in the day. I think a lot of businesses in the UK would actually benefit from doing that, just having everything on WhatsApp, having a dedicated person on WhatsApp all day long, a little bit like a receptionist, and it's easy to get things done that way. And I can't lie, it feels good never to have to wear a jumper, never have to wear trousers. It rains a lot, yes, so sometimes you need to bring a jacket with you and an umbrella, but for the most part, you don't need to wrap up and think whether it's going to be cold during the day. And having lived in the UK for the vast majority of my life, that feels really good. So I left all my jumpers and jackets back in the UK, and I haven't missed them one bit. But interestingly, there are parts of Colombia which are colder, places where you would need a jacket. There's even mountains that have snow on them. Just the city I'm in at the moment, the city of eternal spring, you basically don't need one. Although the weather can be completely unpredictable here. 1 hour it can be sunny and almost clear blue sky, and the next hour can be a tropical thunderstorm. So you do need to stay on your toes in that regard. But I would rather have that and have a relatively consistent warm temperature most days rather than this hot and cold thing that you experience in other countries. And I'll probably get bored of that after a while, but at the moment I'm loving that. So for the most part, really enjoying my new life in Colombia. It feels like the adventure I wanted. I feel like I'm making progress with my Spanish, with my people skills, with adapting to life in a different culture. And I'll do another one of these life update videos in a few months' time after I've spent maybe 3 or 4 months here, and I'll have an even better understanding of what it's like to be a Brit living in Latin America. I hope you guys found this different video useful. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.